Hey guys, today we are talking about growing greens in your window. Not microgreens, but it's just a different method. My mom is doing this, so we're going to walk you through the method that this guy puts out. And it's fun to do a video with my mom, so that was super fun. Make sure to go check out our hotbed video if you want to know about our other method of growing greens in the winter. It works really well, and we've already done it, so we can show you how to do it, and it allows you to grow on a bigger scale and let your vegetables grow to maturity. Also, if you like my makeup look today, go check out Natural Happy, which is my natural, healthy, makeup-y beauty channel. Go check that out. And make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. And we're so glad that you're here, and thanks for being part of our lives, and we'll talk to you later. Hey guys, this is my beautiful mom, and she is going to walk us through yet another of her fantastic ways to bring health into your life and in your family with the food that you eat. So I hope you enjoy it and enjoy the video. And we're going.
This is our new experiment. It can be called sprouts, it can be called greens, it can be called shoots.
And didn't he call it soil grown seedlings? I think that was one of the things he called it too.
Soil grown seedlings, but I did not use soil.
Okay. Beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful? And you can see, if you get a side of what we've got here, you can take any of these out.
And you did this differently. You did this in mats.
I did this in mats. This is what I've got right here, and it's all clean, and there is no soil. You can just eat it, which I'm going to do.
Okay, so I have a question.
Tastes like yummy peas.
When I read the book, he said that when they did just the sprouts, they didn't like the flavor, but when they did it in soil, that their family felt more like they were a plant rather than just a sprout. Have you found that you didn't like the flavor as well?
I do like the flavor better with soil, and sometimes you got to do what you have time for, because let me show you what the real beauty is here. This is called a Sprout Master, and I have tried this in the past, and the little roots would go into these little holes. Do you remember that,
and get
Julianne?
Stuck.
And get stuck, and then you get to take a paper clip or a pin and spend an hour
on each individual little hole.
On each individual little hole. So this is my experiment. I just cut this from a, cutting board. Those little
dollar store
cutting board. I cut that, and then you can see it's got a little bit of biofilm on it, which means I need to be rinsing a little bit better. But then this is a grass mat, and it's biodegradable.
And where did you get them?
I got it from Sprout People.
And that's a like sproutpeople.com type of a. Okay, so sproutpeople.org.
They are the best.
Okay.
And this is what it looks like. And when you start, you cut it to size. And when you start your seed soaking, you also soak this and weight it down, or it doesn't absorb the water. It takes an overnight for this to absorb the water.
Okay.
And the reason and they recommend that you put this on it.
CCOM PGR?
Yeah, and it's a kelp.
Okay.
They recommend that. And what my next experiment's going to be, and you can do a new video on that, is I'm going to use this.
Procore.
It's made from coconuts. And that whole thing will do like a 5-gallon bucket.
Okay.
And then you add this to it, a little bit of the earthworm castings, and you use that instead of soil.
Do you have a copy of your book that I can show him? The other thing is that he claims that all you need is a sunny window rather than grow lights. My mom doesn't have room in front of her south-facing sunny window, so she has it as just these very simple. These are not special tubes, right? They're just regular tubes.
There's one warm and there's one cool.
Okay.
And it works as good as daylight, and they're cheap. But I wanted to talk about what this is first.
Yes.
Okay. Do you see that we're getting our first leaf here?
They're beautiful. Are they peas?
These are lentils. Or are these peas? These are peas.
These look like peas.
Those are peas. These are peas and lentils mixed because I had some left over.
Okay.
So you'll see a mix here, and that's why some of them are tall and some of them are short. It's
Okay.
because these are the peas and these are the lentils. Okay, and they're really healthy. You put them about this close to the lights.
So about, what, half an inch away?
Uh-huh. And do you want me to tell how you do it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you soak your seeds at least 6 hours, and the sprout people have all those charts for how long you soak things, and you look up individual seeds. This one is a pea, and this one is just simply whole peas, cheap, bulk whole peas, very cheap. It's part of my food storage. This is what I have for my greens, for my food storage, is this, and that I'm learning how to do it.
Do you know about how much power it takes? Because you have these on all the time, right?
But you don't know. I only have them on as long as the sun's up. And the reason that I am using this is because I want to start growing wheatgrass and juicing it, because these cost $3 a piece, and I know how to do wheatgrass, and what I really want to do is wheatgrass in these. So I could juice what's in here. I could pull it all up and even juice, what's the seed and everything that's in there. I could add some earthworm castings underneath this, and which is probably what I'm going to do, and just see what happens, because I'm learning what works for me. I love the size of this tray.
It's more manageable. The water doesn't
and
get
it's
too heavy.
stiff. And I have used these before, and I
Right.
bought these to do it with, and I decided not to use them because I'm having to carry them to the kitchen to rinse them. And this is rigid, and it has its own little drain tray underneath.
Yeah.
I got these at the thrift store, by the way.
You are
For
that
$1 a
queen.
piece. And so, and then it has this. It comes with a bottom and it comes with a lid. So as soon as they're soaked, I'm putting them in here on the grass mat, and then they grew up like this. And when I took the lid off, they were about 2 inches tall, and they were just as pale yellow as you would ever see. And then it took about 2 hours, and they turned green.
Wow.
And so they would work in a window. What I'm going to try next, I picked these up at the thrift store too. And do you see these? And you'll see a lot of them in the thrift store. I'm thinking that this might work nicely with a little bit of dirt here, and then that mat. And then, or I may put another false bottom with some holes in it. I don't know, but I love playing with this because these are cheap and they're so rigid, and they're just the right size to get underneath the faucet and get them a really good rinse.
Not so awkward.
Not so awkward. And so this is what I'm going to. And see, the peas are different, and they're a lot more tasty than the lentils. And
How-
you can...
How
you
much
can
do
see-
you age them? How old do you let them get before you start to really harvest off of them?
Well, that's really the trick, because the biggest mistake that people make when they're sprouting or shooting or doing wheatgrass and stuff is that they don't taste it. So you're asking me, when do you start eating it?
You taste
And
it all the time.
I do this, and since this doesn't have any dirt, I come in here and I eat this, and I think these are delicious, and they're cheap, and the whole peas store forever. So this is, I don't know, I'm quite in love with it.
So eat as you go until you find the time
Until
that you
find
think they're
that
best.
You like it, because it's not like you're gonna make, that was a lentil, and they're not as yummy.
And last time we were over for dinner, you made a salad that had quite a few of these in them, didn't it?
I did.
And it was a really amazing salad.
Excellent. And so you can see that these are a little bit too close to the light.
Okay. But it's not like a regular greenhouse light, so it won't burn them.
No, it isn't. It's a little bit warm, but it won't burn them. And so these are, you can see these are the lentils. And to be honest, the reason that I grew lentils here and peas instead of wheatgrass was because I was too lazy to get my bucket open and soak the wheat, and this was already in my cupboard, and so I just took what was in my cupboard and put it to soak. And look, guys, I got salad.
Okay, so tell me about I already know about your shelf, but tell them about your shelf.
Well, I got this at Sam's Club, and it's adjustable. And I had, years ago, I had the expensive grow light system. I think it was close to $1,000. And I actually sold it, and I prefer this.
Yeah.
Because it is so versatile.
Perfect.
And it has the wheels. And I love having the plastic here. And I really don't think I'm going to do more than just 2 lights. I used to do like
All right.
15. And I would do 2 of these trays. And I would have 15 trays of wheatgrass going all the time, so that I had wheatgrass to use every day. But I'm not going to do that. I think I'm just going to do 1.
It looks like enough to graze on if you're
I think
always.
it's enough
I mean,
to
you've only
graze.
got a few trays, and this shelf isn't even full.
And it's not even full.
Can you show them how you raise and lower your light?
Yes. It's high tech. My husband did this one, so it's probably going to be tighter than I would be able to do it. And see, what I did is I put a zip tie through this little hole right here. That's a zip tie.
Or you could use a little S hook, couldn't you?
No.
Will it not fit?
If you use an S hook, it sometimes will slip through. It comes
Okay.
with an S hook, and I don't use it. I use a zip tie so that I
Okay.
have a full circle, and I put that through the chain,
So it's
and
not
then
slipping.
so it's not slipping.
Brilliant.
And I adore this. It is my most favorite setup, and I have tried them all.
You
and
have-
it's cheap. And if you have your trays underneath this, you're not having water. You water in the kitchen, and you don't have dirt. And I have done it with dirt, and I don't want to do it with dirt. I'm willing to use a little bit of
Well, it's
kelp or maybe some
expensive.
castings. But what are you going to do with it in the winter?
Yeah.
Because you have to have a place where you can take the spent mats and put it outside, and that's something I really want to do is have an indoor system with earthworms, and they use the spent mats and that. But I'm not there yet. This is still a new house for me, and I haven't figured out all those logistics.
And your little core fabric, that biodegrades and you don't reuse it?
You don't reuse it. It's made out of grass.
And how
This one's
long, how
grass.
expensive is it?
I bought this, it seems to me like I bought this big sheet, which will probably do me till next winter. I mean,
It's huge.
it's huge. I hate to guess. It wasn't very much. I'm guessing less than $20.
Okay. And
But-
so the difference between that and just letting the roots mat together is, instead of the roots just forming your mat and using this grass mat instead, the difference is,
I don't know, because the only thing I've ever, let me think. I have done it with just the roots massing, but it was when there was a hole. And it was the biggest mess I ever made.
okay.
But I've never tried doing it without this and just letting the seeds form their own mat. See, I like how the mat kept the seeds wet,
Okay.
because I only had to water once in the morning, and I didn't have to check them at night.
So they're a little bit bitter. Does that mean that I shouldn't eat the seed?
No.
Does it mean I should eat the whole thing and it's just okay that it's bitter?
It's okay that it's bitter, because that's really not, this is really not the variety that a person would buy for doing pea sprouts.
Okay.
This is a field pea, and what you really want to do is the gray sugar pea.
Right.
If you want the gourmet one, you'll go with the gray sugar pea.
But I do see that I'm coming back and continuing to pick at it, even
Well,
though.
don't you think that your girls would just kind of,
Oh, yeah.
it's kind of moreish, because it feels so alive. And do you notice how alive it feels and happy? It's not like
And the
something
seed
you
is
get
the
from-
best part.
And you notice that we just kind of sit here and go, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit here and pick at the peas.
Yeah, so I see that this is a winner.
Yeah.
One other thing I wanted to show you. I picked up this pretty thing.
That is pretty. Where'd you get it?
Isn't this pretty? I got it at the thrift store,
Okay.
and it was $1. And I just think it's gorgeous. And I'm thinking that if I put some of the grass in the bottom of this,
Look like a chia plant?
and then it would be pretty kind of in my window. And I was going to try the window thing,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, let's find your copy of your book and we'll show them what. The mom always improves upon a system when she learns it. So There
Let's
was
do
a
that.
book, and she has been doing microgreens and she's been sprouting since, how old was I when, 8? Since I was 8? Because she did them in the window in the basement at the red brick house.
Oh, we did.
We had a
we
whole
did wheatgrass.
room of wheatgrass because my aunt had cancer. And my mom grew wheatgrass for her to make wheatgrass juice, and it really, really, really helped her. But we had a full room in the basement that had light that came in. Did you use lights too? Didn't you just have them in the
I
shelf?
did not use lights.
Yeah.
They just came in with natural light, and it was adequate.
Yeah.
And so it just depends on I wasn't willing to have this in my kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it being in here, actually. But the other things that if people are interested, if you want to grow your own greens and you want to do it cheap, buckwheat is excellent.
Okay.
And sunflower sprouts are excellent. And you use, I think I've got some here. You can just get the ones that are at the grocery store, that are the black oil ones that you feed your birds, that are cheap. I'm going to compare them with these organic ones.
Would you worry? I would be worried about getting them from a store and then eating them raw because of pesticides and stuff residue. Would you be concerned?
Well, I've done it before and I wasn't, and I was fine, and I thought they were delicious. And I grew them in soil, and they had soil on top of them. It wasn't this system. And so with this system, where I see what people do is that they eat them and they enjoy the whole plant.
And there's no ick factor from dirt.
And there's no ick factor from dirt. I would probably, well, obviously I would use the organic because that's what I bought.
What does Dad think of it? Does he nibble off of them?
Nobody knows about this but you and I, because I haven't told people because I didn't want it. I want you to be able to show your viewers.
Cool.
So, and I had one other thing I wanted to
ma'am.
brag. It's this right here. This is only $40, and
Well,
it
that's huge.
works. And it works. And it's a manual wheatgrass juicer. And I just wanted people to know that it's available and it's excellent.
Did you find it on Amazon? Where'd you find it? So it's by Lexan Healthy Juicer Wheatgrass Juicer. It looks almost exactly like the one we used when I was a kid.
Yes, but
But
the one that
plastic.
but ours that we had as a kid was tin.
It was.
And I always felt like there was a metal situation
There
going
was.
on there with it. And this is not. And so this is, feel how lightweight it is.
Yeah, it looks like
And
it's just
so-
not a big deal.
So it doesn't, you don't have to have the big elaborate machinery and all this if you're a person who wants to get into some real greens
Right.
and some real dense nutrition.
So even if you didn't
This
have
is
a backyard.
dense nutrition that is so amazing.
Even if you didn't have a balcony, all you had was an apartment, you could do this. And you
Absolutely.
wouldn't even have to have the lights. You could just put it in front of a
Yes.
window.
And that's what that book that you have says. And I'm not convinced that you still have to use the dirt.
He said that that the seeds worked, but that they preferred the flavor of it if it was in dirt. That's all
Well,
he said.
So we'll have an update with this, and we'll do it again. And I will do it with some earthworm castings and some kelp. And I'll even do half lentil, half peas, again with the same seed. And you can taste it and see.
Okay.
And if anybody ever sees one of these at the thrift store,
It will save your life when you're sprouting
I
greens.
love this. I think I've had it 5 or 6 years. I bought 2 of them. And it is the best thing for soaking because you just put them in there and soak and strain it off, and it's my workhorse in here, and I love that. So I've told you all I know.